everybody. Welcome. It's Lidia Kazawa here, and today we're going to be getting into some Vtuber Newsy news. But before we do, please be sure to smash subscribe, hit the like, ring the bell, and guys, if you're on stream on Twitch, head over to Twitch. And if you're at work, leave me a lurk. And guys, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I need to hit 50K by my birthday, which is May 28th, so that is approaching. So if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Okay, guys, on to our very first piece of Newsy news. This is Ironmouse, and Ironmouse is a female American VTuber from Puerto Rico, a veteran in the industry. She debuted in August of 2017, and this is Neverness to Everness. And Neverness to Everness, or NTE, is a open-world action role-playing hack-and-slash game developed by Hota Studio, a subsidiary of Perfect World. So why are we talking about Ironmouse and NTE? Well, guys, this has been trending on Twitter, and it says here, Ironmouse and Meggy Elise drop support for NTE over hidden AI use. So it says here, prominent VTuber Ironmouse and voice actress Meggy Elise pulled their support for the new gacha RPG Neverness to Everness, launched April 29th, 2026, after spotting undisclosed AI-generated content like an 18-minute anime short in an in-game theater and elements in renders and cutscenes. Ironmouse, citing a no AI contract clause, vowed to not play or promote it, while Meggy, involved in the English localization, threatened to quit unless the AI is removed. So this is posted on John's X account. This was posted on May 5th, 2026 at around 5:19 a.m. And John says, Ironmouse has dropped her Neverness to Everness sponsorship after finding out that developers lied to her ad agency about not using generative AI in the game. Let's take a look at this video here.
And they had told my people that there's no AI in it.
Weathering with you on a big TV in the city with an AI filter over it. It's not even a whoops, we forgot to take out the temp assets. It's theft, and they keep lying.
Bro, I would have never known until I didn't know until I saw that thing on Twitter after the stream. I guess like since I did it, I got pushed, like a lot of stuff got pushed to me, and then people also added me with stuff. So I saw it and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And they told my sponsor people. They said no. They said, we do not have AI in anything. There's no AI anywhere. And it's just like, why are you fucking lying, bro? Like,
so essentially, Ironmouse was kind of blindsided by the fact that there was AI in this game. So this is posted on the VShojo subreddit. This is posted by Sinfire Titan. So let's see what some people on Reddit are saying here. Akimbo says, I'm glad Mousy is taking a hard stance against promoting generative AI games. Another reason why she is the queen. Shark Builds Bro says, the only AI we will settle for is Neuro. This is Amelie, and Amelie posted on her X account, AI is stinky poo-poo. This is Meggy. Meggy posted this on her X account on May 5th, 2026 at around 3:18 p.m. And Meggy says, I recently found out that a game I worked on has been using AI and has been dishonest about it. I want to be clear that I do not support generative AI in any creative field, including voiceover, art, writing, or music. If this is not addressed and removed, I will not be continuing to work with this team. So then this is John again, and John says, there is an 18-minute generative AI anime short film in the theater in Neverness to Everness. This is just like a 2-minute clip of the video here. So you can see here in the game, these are your characters that sit down in a movie theater, and this is the generative AI movie that is playing. So let's take a look here. Okay, so this is posted by Moon Umbra. Moon says, well, until generative AI is taken out of NTE, I will not be playing it. Moon Umbra continues to say, I'm also finding out that the company lied to Ironmouse about not having generative AI in the game. Yeah, not FU NTE. So then this is Thornmouth, and Thornmouth says, lying to the people you sponsor to show your game really should be worse than a red flag for possible players and customers. And then this is Pirate Nation, and Pirate Nation says, Neverness to Everness, or NTE, faces backlash from streamers, voice actors, and players for generative AI use. So then Pirate Nation continues to say, I don't think it's a big deal. These streamers also play games that have generative AI and they never said anything. So then this is posted by Trigger Point, and they said, guess you gotta stop playing video games then. So then this is a screenshot of one of Pirate Nation's tweet. It says here, Jason Schreier said that almost every major studio is already using generative AI tools behind the scenes, especially Claude from Anthropic. Booster said that 9 out of 10 developers are using AI. According to Booster, the tools that are most likely being used to kill off the boring, repetitive stuff so artists and designers can focus on the important creative work. He gave Capcom as an example, saying that they use it to brainstorm thousands of small world details like pebbles or blades of grass. So then this is Chisa, and Chisa says she plays Resident Evil 9, where the developers admitted that the assets like the TV, the bed, and the floor were made with AI, LOL. And that was in response to Ironmouse's statement. Okay, so then this is in response to Ironmouse's clip here. So Comrade says, nah, I doubt she gives an F. She dropped it to avoid dumbass V-tweeters bitching and moaning about her getting sponsored and whining that she's an AI lover or some stuff. Just more more performative nonsense to appease whimsy mobs and be, quote, part of the group. And this is Kurai, and Kurai says, she must really think that this is going to be an easy PR win for her. She's such an effing dumbass. Honestly, good for NTE that they aren't having the VTuber version of Pokemon play their game. Get a real weeb in there. So then this is NTE, the actual developer of the game, issuing a response on their X account on May 5th, 2026 at around 8:49 p.m. And it says here, NTE drama. I'm writing this post because of the massive number of DMs from players asking for refunds over claims that the game was made with AI. We need to clarify a few points as the situation is escalating quite a bit. The game wasn't made with a simple ChatGPT prompt like, make a game please. It was created by programmers, musicians, voice actors, artists, writers, and many other staff members who have been working on it for years. If it were truly a soulless project in such a competitive industry, it simply wouldn't stand out the way it has. We can't deny that AI may have been used for certain types of assets that do not represent the final product, but that still doesn't fully address the underlying issue. As for an official statement from Hata Studio, we already reached out and are currently waiting for a response. This may take some time as it is currently Golden Week in China, which includes several non-working holidays. Regarding the sponsorship situation and the denial of AI use, it's important to clarify that each department operates independently. This falls under the marketing department's responsibility in terms of communication with influencers, and the situation was not handled with complete transparency. We are currently awaiting an official statement from the staff regarding the controversy that has emerged. The situation is delicate. While the issue originated in Asia, was already received fairly positively there, it is now escalated to the point where forums in China and Japan are discussing the controversy being stirred up in the West over what many consider to be a minor issue. Many influencers are protesting and have stopped creating content, which worries players who are genuinely enjoying the game as they fear the situation could negatively affect its future. Let's hope for the best. So then NTE continues to say, my boss, when he comes in tomorrow and finds out about the problem we're having right now after the 5-day vacation he took for the Golden Week. And then there's just like, everything's kind of like up in flames here. So let's see what some of the people on X are saying in regards to NTE's statement. Liz Justice says, I guess my question is, why wasn't it put as a warning that AI was in the game? If it was just a placeholder and you were planning on patching them out, so why not say so? I think the problem is that it wasn't communicated and now people think you guys were hiding it. Aki says, I have a question. Is it that AI is not allowed, or is it specifically drawing that's not allowed, but using AI for text and programming is okay? If it's that no AI can be used at all, then in the future, wouldn't all game programming and text also need to prove that they didn't use AI? What do you think? So this is Mascuro. Mascuro says, it's okay if you don't support AI because you're pro-human artist / lazy / low quality / cut costs. That's fair, reasonable, and I even agree. But throwing an entire game away because of some posters, ads, and some vids, then announcing you don't F with it is, in my opinion, extremely performative and hypocrite. This is Konora, and Konora says, AI haters are so performative, no real human cares about AI in video games if the game is good. And then this is Chibi Review, and Chibi Review says, let's say they used AI. That doesn't take away from the thousands of hours of enjoyment people have had with the game in the last week. This entire narrative that the game is bad now because AI usage was discovered feels like virtue signaling. Are we supposed to pretend we never liked the game or that the quality of it was bad the entire time? This rampant hate towards anything AI is indirectly causing people that once hated AI to become pro-AI, because this entire conversation just feels like a nothing burger of internet brownie points to say, see, I hate AI too. This is a video. Let's take a look here. Oh, it's an 8.6. What is happening with the hands over there? Okay, I think that video was just kind of give an example of like how good the game is. So this is Elvin Maid, and Elvin Maid says, NTE AI drama continues, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. I didn't know they used AI. They were using much more AI assets in beta. If this is not addressed and removed, I will not be continuing to work with this team. She voiced a random NPC in the game. So effing performative behavior. This is Squeaky Magical Girl, and Squeaky says, people coming out of the woodwork to defend NTE's generative AI usage, and most being VTubers says quite a lot about the so-called community. Some of y'all acting like this little indie studio when they dumped thousands into promo. Money that could have gone to getting actual artists and animation. Wowee. The fact that it was used at all is bad enough, but to have lied about it in order to rope big creators into promoting it says all I need to know about the company. Apparently, this isn't the first time that they have been caught using it. If they hold fan art contests and such, what's to say they won't feed all that art into AI? Is it really a risk people want to take? What we say was that they thought that they could get away with it. We should be asking what else had generative AI involvement and disavow it. But some VTubers out here sucking the AI titty and not thinking with their heads. And then this is Overlord Kenji posting this meme here saying, NTE enjoyers. And then this is Ironmouse saying, this game has AI! NTE enjoyers giving a big thumbs up to Ironmouse and then just continuing on with their day. So anyways, guys, what do you think of the NTE controversy regarding AI? Are you pro AI? Are you anti AI? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of news. Hey, are you enjoying the video so far? If so, make sure to come follow me on Twitch. I stream daily over there. Additionally, you can catch my gaming content on my YouTube channel, Lidia VTuber Plays. All right, back to the video. This is First Stage Production, and First Stage Production, or Ichi Pro, is a VTuber agency established in March 2023 by Realty Studios Inc., a Japanese company that also manages the VTuber agency's Specialite, RK Music, and previously VBOT Project, which was transferred to Vivian on October 2025. So why are we talking about First Stage Production? Well, guys, First Stage Production has come out with a bit of a surprising announcement. This is posted on their X account. This post on May 4th, 2026 at around 11 p.m. And First Stage Production says, announcement. Approximately 4 years since the launch in 2022, to all of you who have loved First Stage Production, we have decided to conclude our domestic project as of June 30th, 2026, and the members will each move to their next stages. We will report the details of our gratitude for the time so far and our future plans in the attached image. This is machine translated, so it's not going to be perfect. This is the announcement that they made. So it's an announcement regarding the end of First Stage Production's domestic rights and the future of its affiliated talent. Thank you for your continued support of the VTuber agency First Stage Production. We regret to inform you that the domestic projects of the VTuber agency First Stage Production will cease operations as an agency on June 30th, 2026. We would like to express our deepest gratitude to all the fans who have continued to send us their warm support for approximately 4 years since the auditions were held in 2022, as well as to all the people involved who have supported us. From the first to the fifth generation, we have worked together with all 16 of our current talents to deliver the best entertainment for everyone. Following a change to our management structure last year, after engaging in dialogue with each member about our future activities, following a change in our management structure last year, and after engaging in dialogue with each member about our future activities, we have made decisions that respect each individual's wishes to the fullest extent and allow them to move on to the respective next stages. The agency structure may cease to exist, but the hard work our talents have put in and the love you have shown will never disappear. The operations team will continue to do its utmost as the final guiding light until the project concludes. Furthermore, the English language project First Stage Production EN will continue its activities. We appreciate your continued warm support. Finally, we would like to express our sincere gratitude once again towards everyone who has loved First Stage Production. The entire management team sincerely wishes each member success as they embark on their own path. May 5th, 2026, First Stage Production Management. Okay, so then this is First Stage Production EN posting on their X account on May 4th, 2026 at around 11:02 p.m. And they say, official announcement regarding First Stage Production JP and First Stage Production EN. Thank you for your continued support of First Stage Production EN. We would like to clarify that while First Stage Production JP will be closing, First Stage Production EN will continue its operations without interruption. For more details, please refer to the full announcement below, which is very interesting because normally it's the other way around. Normally it's the EN branches that close and the JP ones continue, but in this particular instance, it is the reverse where the JP branch is closing and the EN one is staying open. So this is the announcement here. It says here, official announcement regarding First Stage Production JP and First Stage Production EN. It says, thank you for your continued support of First Stage Production EN. We would first like to clarify that while First Stage Production JP will be closing, First Stage Production EN will continue its operations without interruption. Since its inception, First Stage Production EN has operated as an independent branch from First Stage Production JP with its own management structure, operations team, and direction. In light of this announcement, we would like to express our sincere gratitude and respect to everyone who has supported First Stage Production JP over the years, as well as all the talents and staff who have been part of its journey. There will be no disruption of the activities of First Stage Production EN talents, and all ongoing projects and schedules will proceed as planned. First Stage Production EN will continue to move forward steadily, and preparations for Generation 4 are also proceeding as planned. We sincerely apologize for any concern this situation may have caused, and we truly appreciate your continued support. We look forward to sharing more exciting content with you. And this is a request for our fans. We kindly ask for your understanding and cooperation in refraining from directing inquiries regarding this matter to our talents directly, including during live streams or via social media. We appreciate your continued support and consideration. And it says date of notice is May 5th, 2026, First Stage Production EN. Anyways, guys, so that is good news for the EN branch. However, it's a little bit sad for the JP branch. They do have some of their talents are kind of like going to different places, and some of them are graduating. So it is a little bit of a mixed bag. But in regards to First Stage Production EN, that is still ongoing. So anyways, guys, what do you think of First Stage Production JP closing? Was this something that you predicted, or is this complete surprise? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is NIJISAJI, and NIJISAJI is an agency of primarily 2D virtual YouTubers known as Virtual Livers, managed by the company Anycolor Incorporated. So why are we talking about NIJISAJI? This is posted on the Kurosanji subreddit. This is posted by Big Monica, and it says here, Daki Wanaga, former COO of NIJISAJI, talks about the issues of a major VTubing agency refusing to transfer character rights to graduated talents. Okay, so this is a link to the tweet on X, but it looks like someone here on the Kurosanji subreddit was able to translate it using DeepL, which is a little bit of a better machine translation. Obviously, because this is machine translated, we do have to take what is said here with a grain of salt. But let's take a look here. So this is posted by Zumbita, and it says this translated via DeepL. It says, regarding the issue of major VTuber agencies refusing to transfer character rights to graduated graduating talents. First off, I want to make it clear that I personally do not condone agencies refusing to transfer these rights. From a fan's perspective, it's natural to think they should just give the character rights to the talents, and I can certainly understand that sentiment. However, even if the agency were to say, we'll give you the rights for free, whether that is actually beneficial for the graduating talent is in fact a completely different matter. This is because when an individual receives valuable rights from a company for free, from a tax perspective, it may not simply be a matter of lucky to get it for free. This is because if a character's name, visuals, merchandise, past sales, and future profitability are deemed to have value, that value is treated as income. To put it bluntly, if someone were to say, I'll give you the rights to Pikachu for free, do you really think that it would be tax-free? You would probably say, no way. The same logic applies to VTuber character rights, especially as the scale of operation grows. For example, if a character generates annual sales of around 100 million yen, of course the value of the rights isn't necessarily exactly 100 million yen. The valuation depends on whether it's revenue or profit, whether monetization is possible after the character graduates, and if the scope of rights usage. However, if it's a popular character that can continue to generate revenue through its name, visuals, merchandise, streams, and events, it's unlikely to be viewed as having zero value. As a result, in the worst case scenario, you haven't paid a single yen in cash, but it's treated as if you earned a large income, and you'll have to pay taxes on this amount. This kind of situation could arise. Of course, in cases where neither agency nor the character has generated much revenue to begin with, such as small VTuber agencies that dissolve due to operating at a loss, the assessed value of a character's rights is likely to be low, and this issue may not be a major problem. However, the situation is entirely different for major agencies, well-known companies, popular talents, and characters with significant merchandise sales. This is not a simple matter that can be dismissed with, if the person wants to continue, just hand it over, neither from a tax perspective nor in terms of operational management. Therefore, not transferring character rights does not necessarily mean the agency is being unilaterally mean. To reiterate, I'm not saying not handing them over is the right thing to do, but in reality, for the talents to truly benefit, they need to have their tax, legal, and operational systems in place along with the funds to pay taxes, and they must be able to generate consistent revenue from that character even after leaving an agency. It's a much more complex issue than it appears from the outside. But it continues to say, from someone working in finance, this seems to check out as intellectual properties can have goodwill attached to them. Though I'd argue that people could still, just pay the taxes, but this is just one of the complications, and I agree with him that things aren't as simple as people think. And it says, edit. By the way, I personally don't think IPs are that contentious of an issue at this point. I think that these days I see more people arguing over VTubers pretending that they weren't X or Y, and if they're obligated of doing this by NDAs or not. Similarly, there's also discussions about whether current corporal talents are able to talk about their old mate's new persona, or if they do out of their own reasons, etc. I'd be more interested in hearing a C-suite statement on those instead. Anyways, guys, what do you think of this opinion from the former COO of NIJISAJI? Do you believe that the transfer of character rights is something that should inherently go to the talent, or do you think that is something that should be held within the company? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is Google Gemini, and Google Gemini, formerly known as Bard, is a generative AI intelligence chatbot and virtual assistant developed by Google. It is powered by a family of large language models, LLMs, of the same name after previously being based on LaMDA and PALM2. So why are we talking about Google Gemini? Well, guys, this is posted on Pirate Nation's X account. This was posted on May 5th, 2026 at around 11:06 a.m. And Pirate Nation says, Google Chrome is quietly downloading a roughly 4 GB AI model to many users' computers without clear upfront consent. The file, called ways.bin, is part of Google Gemini's Nano on-device language model and lands in the browser's user data folder under Op Guide on-device model. It powers built-in AI tools such as Help Me Write, Smarter Tab suggestions, on-device scam detection, and page summarization. The download triggers automatically for devices meeting minimum hardware requirements, and Chrome often replaces the files if deleted. While the model processes data locally, installation happens in the background with minimal notification. The scale is noteworthy. Hundreds of millions or billions of installations add up to thousands of tons of carbon emissions globally from data transfer, even though each is a one-time event. To prevent or remove it, go to Chrome//flags, disable the entries for the optimization guide on device model and prompt API, restart the browser, and manually delete the folder. So this is posted by Kevy, and Kevy says, this is what it looks like, by the way, disable this shit ASAP. So you can see here, it says prompt AI for Gemini Nano. You have to hit disable. Prompt AI for Gemini Nano with multi-model input. You have to disable this here. Writer API for Gemini Nano. You have to disable this. Writer API for Gemini Nano to disable this. And it says proofreader API for Gemini Nano, and you have to disable that as well. So this is DLTA, and DLTA says a 4 GB model downloaded without consent to every developer workstation also lands on every machine holding wallet signing keys, RPC secrets, and Exchange API credentials. So obviously this is a really big deal, guys. So if you go to Chrome/flags, make sure to have all of these disabled. Okay, guys, and that's it. That's the end of the VTuber Newsy news. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And guys, if you can't catch me on Twitch, that is no problem. I do have a YouTube channel called Lidia VTuber VODs that backs up all of my gameplay, and I probably play through some of your favorites, and I'm currently playing through Final Fantasy IV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't haven't already, I need to hit 50K by my birthday. Please, please, please. I need your help. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Mwah! Bye-bye. I'm a paladin. Wow! Yes! Oh my god. Yes. This is the greatest day of my life. Oh my god, they're so beautiful. Host club, yes! Ah! I'm getting the special chair! You're getting... That was the greatest show ever. Looks like the backstage is open. Oh. Bronze Spectre. Hello. This is Bronze Spectre. Eek! Get out of here, you pervert! This is a dressing room!